So now we're going to the background of study. Students are the most important part of any educational institution, and how well they are treated determines its sustainability. Higher education institutions must provide students with wide range of necessities to ensure that students are satisfied with the facilities so that they can maximize their time to study. This study examines UiTM Puncak Alam students' satisfaction with campus services such as internet connectivity, accommodation, and transportation. So now we go into the problem statement. Housing satisfaction refers to the happiness and satisfaction with the housing environment. Student satisfaction with campus amenities is crucial. Unfortunately, most university administrators avoid taking responsibility for their students' main access points. Administration should frequently ask students how to improve the campus environment to make it more welcoming, since universities must maintain their facilities. So, in this paper, it examines how university facilities affect student satisfaction and measures the students' satisfaction with facilities. So the first research question is, does the public transport provided for students sufficient? Next is, does UiTM provide sufficient accommodation for students in college? And lastly is, does the connectivity of the internet on campus competent? And so for the research objective, firstly is to measure whether the public transportation provided for students is sufficient. Secondly is to analyze whether UiTM provides safe accommodation for students in college. And lastly is to study whether the connectivity of the internet in campus is competent.
As for the summary of literature review, there are several definitions that can be summarized throughout the literature review. First and foremost is the definition of satisfaction. Satisfaction is defined by Locke in 1976 as emotional response or affection towards an object. Satisfaction is seen as an expression of fulfillment of an expected outcome influenced by the prior expectation regarding the level of quality. Moving on is the criteria of student satisfaction, where according to Gadabosami and De Jager in 2010, measuring and assuring quality of service provided by such important stakeholders as students, staff and employers is a key importance for universities. Furthermore is the dependent variable for our research paper, which is student satisfaction. Student satisfaction can be defined as an attitude resulting from an evaluation of an institutional educational experience, services and facilities. Fortino in 2012 emphasizes that the creation of prepared minds of students was the main purpose of the higher education. And last but not least is the independent variable for our research paper. As for the public transportation provided in campus, Maryland in 2015 reported that the essential goal for higher education institution is to provide the perceived service quality to their students. Next is the accommodation in college, where Carlin study at 1979 posits that hostel room size can indeed influence the students' level of satisfaction. Finally is the connectivity of internet in campus. There are three basic types of elements that determine the students' and faculty satisfaction with internet access and connectivity. First of all is faculty interaction and technology, and students' instructor and institution.
This research is as descriptive as previous studies are used to provide further understanding about satisfaction on the facilities in UiTM Puncak Alam among students. The type of investigation that will be used to conduct this research is correlation, as there are few variables that move simultaneously with a student's satisfaction on the facilities in UiTM Puncak Alam, while the unit analysis for this study is based on individuals, as the problem statement focus on the factors that influence satisfaction on the facilities in UiTM Puncak Alam. For the sampling in this research study, the population are students from the Faculty of Business Management Horns Transport at UiTM Puncak Alam. The sample population for this study is students from the Faculty of Business Management Transportation at UiTM Puncak Alam from semester 5. Next, the type of sampling used in this study is non-probability sampling, in which the researcher selects members from research at random. This sampling approach is not a predetermined or fixed selection process. The data collected for this study are from the data collected using questionnaires that were distributed online. The online questionnaires are conducted via Google Form platforms such as WhatsApp, Telegram, and other social media. Finally is data analysis. Data analysis is important in this research, which helps to analyze, summarize, and interpret all the data that has been acquired through the survey. The data in this research are analyzed by Statistical Package for the Social Science (SPSS) for accurate data analysis rather than manually analyzing the collected data.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Imam Reza bin Muhammad Zakwan and I will explain about Chapter 4. This chapter focuses on the analysis of the findings related to student satisfaction on the facility in UiTM Puncak Alam that were obtained through data collected from respondents. Most of the respondents are female, which is 48 out of 82 respondents and aged 22 until 25 years old, while 50% of respondents are non-resident and college resident. Moreover, most of the respondents are also members of the BA24756C class, which is 22 respondents. This section shows the findings on the sufficiency of public transportation provided on campus. This finding is based on descriptive analysis. Reference to the table 4.3, it indicates an overall summary of descriptive statistics for the total mean of the both variables, which are independent variable and dependent variable. From the table, it can be seen that the highest score would be the driver of the transportation are experienced. And finally, total means of the UiTM has provided sufficient transportation with total mean score 2.70 and standard deviation 0.812. This section shows the findings of safety accommodation in college. This finding is based on descriptive analysis. Reference to the table 4.4, it indicates an overall summary of descriptive statistics for the total mean of the both variables, which are independent variable and dependent variable. From the table, it can be seen the highest score would be the fire assembly place is easy to reach if anything emergency happens, with total mean score 3.04 and standard deviation 0.728. And finally, total mean of the distance between the college of the student car park can be reached with walking distance, and various shops are available in the resident to supply food with the same score, which is 2.88 means total mean score and standard deviation 0.837. In this section, show the finding on the connectivity of internet provided on campus. This finding is based on descriptive analysis. Reference to the table 4.5, it indicates an overall summary of descriptive statistics for the total mean of the both variables, which are independent variable and dependent variable. From the table, it can be seen that the highest score would be the connection in the UiTM Puncak Alam should be restricted for illegal website, with total mean score 3.18 and standard deviation 0.818. And finally, total means of the internet coverage in UiTM Puncak Alam is widely covered, with total mean score 2.77 and standard deviation 0.806.
Hello, my name is Saiful Johnny Saiful Amri, and I'm going to explain about the recommendation. So the first one is to improve information provided on public transportation. So the university student will love if the university offers enough alternative to public transportation. However, a large population of students has never used public transport, so UiTM could improve public transportation information like bus schedule, for example. So moving to the second point, which is increase the number of convenience store. So the campus stores and cafes location has frustrated students, which making it hard to buy food and other necessities. So this suggests that students dislike the campus business and also cafes arrangement. So if UiTM had more convenience store, students could buy fresh groceries and also their other necessities. And the last point, which is our third point through the recommendation, which is to improve the internet connectivity at certain building and levels. So it appears that many of them have mentioned that connectivity needs to be improved in areas where some buildings and levels have weak connections. So this is the case despite the fact that the vast majority of students believe the internet connectivity is available across the majority of the campus. And what as we can conclude from this research, the aim of this research is to determine the student satisfaction on the facilities in UiTM Puncak Alam among Part 5 students, BA247 in UiTM Puncak Alam. So in particular, the aim of this research is to study the student satisfaction towards public transportation provided on campus, accommodation in college, and connectivity on the internet in UiTM Puncak Alam. And all the data are being collected in questionnaires were analysed by using SPSS. So thank you very much. That's all from us. Thank you.